The last time you and I talked, your dad was locked up.
Yes.
What's it like to be sitting here with your dad right now?
It's very, I feel more at peace, more happy. Definitely takes away all that anxiety and stress a little bit more. Yeah.
What's it like for you to be home?
Feliz, bendecido.
Happy, blessed to be able to be with my family and the people I love the most.
We all saw, not just me, I think the world saw the video of what happened to you. And then you were locked up for, I think, 3 weeks or more. How are you doing?
Pues de todo lo que ha pasado, me siento.
Well, out of everything that happened, I feel blessed and lucky to be with my family.
De lo que ha pasado, pues.
Now, about what happened, that's now in the past. I want to focus on what's in front of me now. If I start thinking about what happened, that's reliving the pain. And, well, that weakens me more.
Me debilita más.
After one of the first conversations after you were taken by the agents, one of the first things that your dad asked you to do was to keep doing his job for him?
Yes, yes.
Why did you ask him that after you got detained? Why was it so important for you to ask Alejandro to keep doing the work?
La responsabilidad es primero. Yo creo que es.
First of all, responsibilities. I think that it was dignified work in which I was able to bring home something to eat in support of my household.
He told me you're a person who loves this country, and you taught your boys to love this country. And your 3 boys joined the United States Marines. Why did you teach them to love this country so much?
Porque es un país para nosotros como hispanos, es un país de las oportunidades.
Because for us Hispanics, it's a land of opportunities. But simply, I've always told them, you want to be someone in life? Watch your record, protect yourself. If you want to be good, you'll be good. And if you don't want to be good, then you can just throw your life away. It's different. It's just as this country can give us an opportunity, it can also destroy many of us.
Even after what happened to you at work happened, and even after you were detained, Alejandro told me he's never been prouder of this country because of the response of the people who came out to support you. I wonder how you feel about the country now. It's complicated, huh?
Complicado.
You know, we saw what happened on the video, but I wonder how you would describe what happened to you on that day. Yeah. I'll tell you what I saw. I saw you at work. And I saw you working, and I saw many federal agents that were wearing masks approach you and chase you and then detain you very violently. Does that sound right? Does that sound like what happened to you?
Yes.
Yes. That's not the story that they tell. You know that. And I'm sure he knows that by now because you told me when you went to see your dad, you told him what they said, that they said he tried to attack them with the weed whacker.
Yeah.
When you heard that they were saying that, what was your response, or what do you want to say about that now? Is it true? It looked like you were scared.
Yo creo que cualquiera.
I think, like anyone else would feel, I felt terrified.
What were you thinking about then?
Muchas cosas, Meti.
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
Your family?
Claro, mi familia, mi hogar.
Of course, my family, my home, my stability,
Saber que no iba a regresar.
knowing I might not come back.
Did they say anything to you on that day when they took you off the street?
No, me dijeron
No, they
nada.
didn't tell me anything.
Do you think they knew who you were?
No.
Random.
Yeah.
Sabía
They
que
knew
era
I'm Hispanic,
hispano,
that I'm
que era
Latino,
latino,
the way I
físico y
look,
todo.
everything.
They looked at you and they said, "That's a Latino man."
Yep.
Alejandro told me about his training in the Marines, and that what he learned in the Marines is that he would never treat anybody that way. Did you ever hear him say that?
Como les digo, el respeto es mutuo.
Like I say, respect is mutual.
respeto
Respect is earned
se
or
gana o se
lost.
pierde.
If you want respect, you have to
quieres
respect
respeto,
others.
enséñate a respetar a
If
las
not,
personas,
they'll never respect
si
you.
no, pues nunca te van a respetar.
What do you want people to know about the conditions inside the detention center downtown and the Adelanto ICE facility?
Es mejor no hablar de eso.
Better not to talk about
It's
it.
better not to speak about it.
What do you know about what he told you about what he went through there?
Yeah, I mean, he describes it as being treated less than humans, being in a cage, locked up with 170 other people, one toilet, like no privacy, no change of clothes. And then in Adelanto, he described it as a little bit better, but still, like foods were delayed, and just like how as simple as like the blankets, how they were made from a material he's not comfortable with, or they're made out of something that he doesn't know.
Like the Mylar, the silver blankets?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just made a lot of people sick.
Today I heard you describing being locked up in Adelanto. Even in a place like that, there's still hope. Why did you say that? Why do you feel that way?
Ponte en mi lugar, ¿qué sentirías?
Put yourself in my place. What will you feel?
Claro, soy ser humano y no quiere
Of
que
course,
estoy
I'm a
aquí
human
afuera.
being, and they don't
Estoy
want
con
me
la
to
gente
be
que está
here
alrededor, porque es
outside.
mi gente,
I'm with the people on the
con los que yo
inside
conviví.
because they're my people, people I lived with. And I had hope, as I would always tell them, one day we're going to get out, having faith.
Y con fe. Y no hemos hecho nada malo, simplemente
And we haven't
trabajamos.
done anything bad, it's just simply for working.
Y me reflejo
And I
en el
see my
dolor de ellos
reflection
porque
in
sé
their pain because it's my own.
Are you able to think about the future?
Después de lo que acabo de pasar,
After what I'd just been through,
tenemos que vivir el hoy.
we need to live for
El hoy
today.
nada más. El mañana no sabemos.
Just today. Tomorrow, we don't know.
If you could have a message, any message, to President Trump, what would that message be?
Lo único que le diría que
The only thing I would tell
Como seres
him is
humanos,
that as human
las
beings,
personas tenemos una
as
oportunidad.
people, we have an opportunity.
Y
And if there is something
si
within
algo
the
hay que en las
families,
familias
just
no separar
don't
familias.
separate the families. That's the only thing.
es lo único.
Don't separate families. It seems like a simple message, but it's not what's happening. My last question for you is this. You have become, I think, a symbol for so many people across the country and across the world of what they see as the injustice of what's happening all across the United States. And your son a hero. What does that mean to you?
Como se los he dicho, estoy orgulloso.
As I've said,
Hijos.
I am proud of my sons.
Por ese lado, estoy muy orgulloso de ellos.
On that side, I'm
Pero en
very
respecto-
proud of them.
El valor, la humillación. Es triste porque hubo
But as for
algo que
myself,
estuvo en
my
el
own
piso,
value, the
Lo levantaron.
humiliation,
frente en alto.
it's sad because there
Pero
was
aquí hay algo
something
muy-
that
muy
was left on the
especial.
floor and they lifted it up
La
with
unión
head up high.
fue todo el pueblo.
And there's something very special here. The unity came from the entire town,
es
the
cierto,
communication, the people.
él es un héroe, pero el
Because it's
héroe
true, my son is a
lo
hero.
hizo la comunidad.
But the actual hero is a
Y
community
uno sin la comunidad,
And one is
sin el
nothing
apoyo,
without community and support.